Five Nights at Freddy's has had 11 mainline games, and then 2 DLCs that aren't reskins. And today I'm going to be ranking all of them, from FNAF 1 to Hope 1 and 2. Starting off with FNAF 1, and it's S tier. The original is one of the best games, I'm not even gonna lie. It's very good. The horror is there, the gameplay is fun, the atmosphere is amazing. It's just overall a great game. There's not really a lot of things where I'm like, dang, I wish this was better, you know? But that cannot be said for FNAF 2, where I'm going to be putting it in C tier. See, the thing is, it is still a relatively scary game, and it's fine in terms of a lot of stuff, but like the gameplay is pretty bad. Just the amount of things you have to do, it's just overstimulation, and it just becomes light, wind up the music box, repeat, and spam that until you win. Not really a lot of interactive like thinking going on there, which is why I think it comes down to C tier. Five Nights at Freddy's 3 I'm going to be putting in B tier. It is fine, I guess. I mean, story-wise, it's probably one of the better games. I really like the mini games and the endings are cool, but the gameplay is a little bit flawed. The phantoms are annoying and useless. Springtrap can get camped. It's got a lot of flaws. A lot. But that being said, it's not the worst you could do. Five Nights at Freddy's 4, I'm going to be putting in A tier. Now, originally this was my least favorite mainline FNAF game, but like the more and more I thought about it, I was like, dang, this game's actually pretty darn good. It's really scary, the gameplay is fun and challenging. The only thing that I'm like, I don't really like that is the story. I'm not a big fan of that. But you know what, it's fine. Because everything else about it is great. Now, FNAF World, I'm going to put it top of C tier. It's a very bare bones RPG. And it's fine for what it does. It's not terrible. The story is very confusing and I don't know if it means anything at all. Like, I don't really know, there's not really a lot of thoughts I have on this game. Now, this is probably going to be a controversial take. Maybe not as controversial as the FNAF 2 take, I imagine. But this game is D tier, sister location, and let me tell you why. The story is one of the better ones. It's actually pretty darn good, I will say. But the gameplay is like terrible. It's not even like point and click anymore. It's just click to progress through 500 cutscenes and then repeat that. Maybe you get one mini game per night, and that is it. The gameplay is so terrible that it just drags it all the way down from D to D tier. It's so bad. It's so terrible. FNAF 6. Originally a game I had much higher. I'm going to put it A tier, not S tier. And here's why. The story is probably some of the best, but the gameplay is flawed. I won't say it's the absolute worst you could get, but it's not great either. Instead of being time-based, it's based on mechanics and how much you do, which honestly I don't really like that much. I don't really like that. I don't think that was a good choice. Plus, it can be easily cheesed, and I don't know, man. The tycoon part's really fun, I will admit. I like pretty much everything about that. The salvage sections are great too. It's just the office segments are so terrible that it brings it down to A tier. Story-wise, it's goated though. Ultimate Custom Night, I'm going to be putting B tier. And here's why. It's got good gameplay. It's a really good idea. Okay, I will say that. It is a good idea. But Dee Dee basically ruined this entire game. And that's the problem. If the point is to make a custom night, why can Dee Dee just ruin that? You've got, oh, I want to play all Bonnies. Oh, but then Dee Dee comes in and spawns a freaking, I don't know, Chica. Like, what? I know there's DD repellent, but like, I don't even think that's 100%. I don't think that like in 100% works. Like, I think it's like it helps prevent the chance, but I don't think it like 100% removes the possibility, which I think is really annoying. So yeah, that is one of the things that brings it down, and also the story is really simple and is not really doing much, I'm not gonna lie. So that's why that goes there. And it's actually going to go in S tier. Not above FNAF 1 though. And here's why. The gameplay is really great. The story is really great. It's just overall a solid game. There's not really a lot of things where I like have a problem with, and that's what S tier is for. Except it's not very replayable. If you played it once, it's just not a point in coming back. And another thing is, for like the FNAF 1 sessions, why would I play this over the OG FNAF 1, which is probably better in the FNAF 1 regard. It's better than these two. But like, I don't know. The extra mini games are nice. And that's why I really like Curse of Dreadbear, which is also going to go in S tier, because they have more unique mini games. Not over the base game, but you can really see the Help Wanted 2 coming through with the more unique and original mini games, even if they're not perfect, which I really like. The only thing is that there's not as much story here, which is why I'm not putting it over the base game. Also, S tier is going to be stacked, and this is not one of them. The worst FNAF game, in my opinion, is FNAF AR. And yeah, I made a whole video on this, why FNAF AR failed, going into the problems of the gameplay, so I'm not going to go too into detail into it here, but just know the RNG is terrible, the gameplay is a little repetitive, there's microtransactions, it's not really that good, and now it's gotten discontinued, so you can't even play it if you wanted to, unless you still have it like I do. It's just like, I don't know, man. It had potential, but it did not fulfill it. But that being said, Security Breach is actually my favorite FNAF game, kind of, sort of, a little, not really, sort of, yes, kind of. You'll see in a bit. Security Breach, I love it. My favorite thing when it comes to stories is characters. If you have good characters, you've sold me on your story. And that is why Security Breach is my favorite. The characters feel like characters. I like the daycare attendant, Roxy, Music Man, Freddy, Chica, and especially Monty, who's my favorite FNAF character. They just feel like characters. And that's really what puts it above for me. But not just that. I have a lot of fun playing this game for some reason. I have like 60 hours in this game, and I don't know how. But I do. And I find it incredibly fun to play. Even on repeat playthroughs. And the same thing goes for Ruin. While Security Breach may have been lacking in the scare factor, Ruin, I think, was actually way scarier and had a better story. And the gameplay also probably better, maybe, possibly, I don't know. I think it's a upgrade from Security Breach. And that is my actual favorite FNAF game, Ruin. But since it's a DLC for Security Breach, technically Security Breach is my favorite FNAF game, but they're number 1 and 2, so who really cares, right? This game is my third favorite. This game, gameplay-wise, I would have to say is probably the best FNAF game. I played it just yesterday and Help Wanted 1 for the first time, just a little bit of both. And I had so much fun with this game. Help Wanted 1, I also played Dreadbear. It was fun, I guess. But Help Wanted 2 was really fun. I can't explain why, you just gotta play it yourself. It's really good. It didn't have Monty, and that is my big complaint because I really wanted more characterization for him. and I'm not as invested in the story as in that game as I am in Security Breach. And I just overall like the characters in Security Breach better because there's more of them, though the characters from Security Breach are in Help Wanted 2, so a lot of that doesn't apply, except Monty, who's my actually favorite. And since Monty's not in it, that takes away a huge part of what made me like Security Breach. Yeah, that is my list. Do you hate it? Do you like it? Do you agree? You probably don't because I have these games at the top, or specifically this one. You might agree with this one, but you probably don't agree with this one, and that's fine. Feel free to leave your ranking in the comments below, and I will make sure to read them. So, thank you so much for watching, and catch you later.